Alright, we are in the third lesson of Unit 1 for the illustrative math geometry. I know this is probably stretching a few of you, maybe making you a little bit uncomfortable. It's a little challenging, but I just want to encourage you to keep on pressing forward. Now, in this lesson, there are a couple of problems, starting with this first one. I think what we're going to do is skip this first one and just move to the third problem. The second one has to do with being in a classroom, which we are not. So we're going to look at the third question. So if you were looking at the paper handouts, you can just skip down to the third 3.3 question. And it's asking you to find the perpendicular bisector of this segment. A perpendicular bisector is a line that splits this segment in half, that's a bisector, and makes right angles. So I'm going to show you how to do this, both with paper, pencil, and using the tools that you can find on your computer using Geogebra. So I'm going to start with the computer tools. Those of you who have found the extension Geogebra or have gone and found it on the website, you can open that up. And we're going to use this geometry tool to recreate that segment PQ. So first thing I'm going to do is create a point here, and point here, and I'm going to connect those two with this segment. So pretend what I've drawn here, AB, same as what was in the drawing on lesson 3. Pretend this is PQ. Here's how you find a perpendicular bisector. That would be a line that splits this segment in half and makes right angles. Grab the circle tool, the one with the center at point P. We're going to take and draw a circle at A that has a radius of AB. Okay, so we drew a circle at point A that has a radius of AB. And we're going to take that same circle tool and do the same thing at point B that has a radius of AB. Now, by drawing those two circles around this segment, I can now draw a segment that goes through the two intersecting points, the one at the top and the one at the bottom. This segment CD splits this segment AB in half and also forms a right angle. That's a perpendicular bisector. If you're doing this with paper pencil, it's not quite as easy as on the computer, but you can make 2 points, P and Q, and connect them. And now you're going to try to take which really is just a string, or like I'm using a twisty tie, and I'm going to put my pen at one end, put my finger at the other end, and draw a circle like this from P to Q, and then I'm going to reverse it and do the same thing on the other side. Put my pen down at this point, hold it with my finger, alright, so by drawing these circles, I've created two intersection points, one here and one here. And then I'm going to use a straight edge to go from point to point. And that creates a perpendicular bisector. This line goes through this segment right in the middle and creates 4 right angles, or perpendicular lines. Okay, so that was pretty quick. I hope that makes sense. If you read through the summary, it explains a perpendicular bisector It also explains some things about conjectures. This part of the lesson I'm going to leave up to you. I'm not going to read it to you. And then you can, if you're using paper pencil, go on and do the practice problems, or if you're on Google Classroom, you can find the practice part of this in your classroom.